I am excited, as I always am, to have the opportunity to be able to speak to you guys and share mindset Monday, and this one's special for me. Just, I mean, all of them are special, but when we look to wrap up a year, in my world of executive coaching and as an executive in the past, and we always close out a year with a very similar concept. And when I was doing some research and reading, and this is an older concept, this isn't something I invented, the 3 C's, or it's been around for a long time. But it's one that it laid on my heart that it needed to be said to this group, because it fits so well of what I think a journey of a current job seeker goes through. And so when I think through what the last Monday of the year should be, as we lead and look at the time frames of things and stare January 5th in the face of where we all have to come back, all the businesses come back, and we all, of course, put our foot back on the gas and start accelerating towards new careers, new opportunities, changes. I want us to all realize that throughout this entire journey of this community, it has always been about really choices. And the idea that there's two paths that all of us could go on, right? There's the path to stay stuck, and then there's the path to move forward. And the idea to coast or to really close out a moment strong. And for so many of you, you have been battling and pushing and being so strong. And so that this is a good moment to take that step back and evaluate what choices, chances, and changes have meant to you in 2025. And we have to do this. It fits into our reflection, discovery, and execution framework. Of course it does. But the idea here is for you to put it in a way that you can write these things out. There's a worksheet that I'm going to drop into the Discord for everybody as well. But the idea here is to give you a moment to just pause and think about what you have accomplished and then what changes are going to come from that, right? And so as I lean into this idea of starting first with choices, I want everybody just to take a breath and pause for a moment, because every single outcome that you've had in 2025, good, bad, neutral, it all came from a choice. It wasn't just luck. It wasn't just the market, right? There was a choice made that allowed you to adjust and move and make adjustments and make decisions, to apply tactics, to not apply tactics, to network, avoid networking, to stay stuck, to take that simple step forward. It was truly something that you made that choice in that moment. And the cool part about that choice is that it did move you towards, and it's normally always a positive action, even the choice to do nothing for a day, to take rest, right? To what we've been doing over the past several days of resting during the holidays, right? That is a conscious choice so that you can rebuild, restructure, and make sure you're putting changes into place. So choices are not something that we just go into these final days of the year and not evaluate every, maybe what you might view as a bad choice, as a negative. It should be an opportunity for you to be able to look at that choice as what's to come from it, not what became of it. Because I chose to maybe not invest in myself as much. Maybe I chose to do other options. Maybe I kept things too simple. I didn't build them out enough. Maybe I wasn't complex enough. Maybe I was too complex. No matter the choice, there is positivity to be gathered from it as we move towards the fit. Not every choice has to be perfect, but every choice should be intentional. And so when you think through the first step of really the choice, and you think through your choices, this is not a moment to beat yourself up. It's to evaluate how those choices created chances. We miss the understanding of how the choices set us up for the best opportunity to have a chance to make changes. The year ahead won't just come knocking. it's going to come kick the door down. You'll have to understand your choices so that you can create the right chances to move yourself forward. You're going to have chances over the next several weeks to really lean into your search. You'll have chances to send messages. You'll make a choice to send a Happy New Year message, to network differently, right? You're going to have chances to follow up the previous conversations, even if they were hard or even perceived as negative. You'll have the chances to tag in new recruiters or lean into some new recruiter spaces. But most importantly, you're going to have a chance to restart. The key here is don't wait for a perfect moment in this. Don't wait for a clear sign. The key thing here is to take a chance, which means it's uncomfortable. The idea of going through the job search is truly like life in general. Everyone pushes back or delays parts of life. You'll hear people, I'm not going to get married right now. It's not the right time. I'm not going to have kids right now. It's not the right. Finances aren't right to be able to have another kid. I can't adopt right now because of this. I can't buy that car. I can't take that investment. I can't put money away, right? I can't buy that home. The truth of the matter is, we all have these opportunities, where it's financial, where it's spiritual, whether it's mental, to take chances with relationships and with people. And the key here, when it comes to life, if you create the most chances for yourself to win, it doesn't mean you won't fail, but it does mean you'll have the chance to win. Action creates opportunity. When we are intentional with leaning in and taking the appropriate chances, especially when everyone else is coming off a holiday high, where some of the world of job seekers are just waking up, they're just dusting off their resumes, they're just asking for assistance now, they're just leaning into programs like this, they're just getting assistance for the first time. This is where you have the advantage. You've been exposed. You're hearing this message today. You're going to think through all your choices. You're going to start thinking through what chances you need to take, and you're going to start taking them. This next few days, we should celebrate the new year, but celebrate the new year not just because you're going to create a new you, but because you've evaluated how powerful you are in 2025. You see your victories in 2025. That leads you to this opportunity now that you're going to make real changes. And we've talked about changes multiple times. Remember, a change is not something that you do as a hope and a dream. A change comes from fundamental disciplines. So when we think through changes, I want you to think about what most people do when they fail in making changes. Because most people avoid the idea of expecting different results without making fundamental discipline changes in habits. And so as we go through the 3 C's and we evaluate again those choices that have led us to the opportunity to take some chances, the only way those chances can ever have a chance of success is if we make the fundamental changes in our habits. And there's no better time to do that than this week. There are things you can already start to mentally prepare for and physically prepare for this new week. When the 5th comes, let's not be the one that's instituting habit change. Let's be the one who's refining it. We have the time to do it. You have the ability to do it. Because you have to change daily habits in order to have a 2026 that you want to have. You don't need to reinvent anything to make fundamental changes. You got better every single day in 2025, whether you recognize it or not. And that's the reason why we go back in time. We look at your choices, the chances that set you up for the changes. So what's the small redirection that you need to do? What's the one singular small habit that needs to be adjusted? What's one healthier boundary that you can create for yourself? Remember, mental wellness comes from physical wellness, right? What's a courageous thing you could do? What's something truly that you see as scary right now that you could go and fundamentally institute? What's one thing that you can do? And if you've never heard me teach this, you lean in on this because this is something you need to learn. That can move you from just surviving in your current role, surviving in your job search, to truly thriving in either. There's something fundamentally different about that approach. How do we shift from noise to clarity? And how do we shift from being a job seeker to an impact player in your next opportunity? These are the moments that give us all the ability to be able to win. But we're not winning in the case of just solving for the job. We're winning in a fundamental shift and adjustment to make 2026 the overall best year of your life. And it happens, again, from taking this moment, from seeing this as a clean slate, as a reset window. Don't waste it. Be involved, whether it's Discord, LinkedIn, friends, family. Lean in deeply and truly ask yourself repeatedly, which one of these C's do I need to lean into the most? How did my choices lead to better chances and chances lead to changes? And how can I do that right now if I've never done this before? If you've never heard this before, how can you do it? And if you need help in it, how am I going to utilize resources like the Discord, like Tina and myself, like others, Michael in Mindset Mondays? Like how can you use your resources to make sure that over the next week you are absolutely rocking and rolling? And you're not just doing it for you, but you're doing it for others. It's the concept of selfish and selfless coming together purely so that you can get 2026 rolling very quickly. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. There's no pressure than the pressure you create for yourself. I understand there can be financial pressures. I understand the world creates pressures. But you're in control. You have empowerment. You choose to take the chances and you choose to make the changes. So I invite you in this next coming week. Share these if you want to. Put them in the Discord. Put them out there. Share them in just a moment. We have quite a bit of people here on the call. And let's all work together collectively to help lift each other so that 2026 isn't just a great year, but it gets started off as a great year because we all need a springboard and we can all do it collectively together. I really do appreciate you guys for this. And I appreciate for the opportunity to have this conversation with you because I know I'll need you guys too to make sure my 3 C's work out. Appreciate you guys.